Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Breaking Absolutes. Bit of a hiatus simply because of holidays and some other work I've been doing. But I'm pleased today to get to have a different conversation. The gentleman I'm going to talk to, his name is Wayne Joyner. His work is probably work you've seen somewhere or another. He's a graphic designer, a video specialist. I mean, we'll get into all of the various types of creative work he does. But he's had this just very storied career at this young age of the artists that he has worked with. He and I met through a mutual acquaintance through Dream Theater. But then once I became familiar with Wayne, I started to see just this breadth of work that's so creative, so vibrant, and is helping bring to life the work of so many of our favorite rock and metal artists. And so I'm really excited by that. So I'm going to bring Wayne on and we're going to chit chat with him a little bit. And then we're going to look at a whole bunch of his work. Wayne, welcome.
Sounds good. Hey, Peter. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah.
Total honor, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased to get to have this. I love the conversations I get to have that are not simply with, an artist here or there, but the people in the sort of creative background that we don't always get to talk to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, some of the people that you've worked with that we'll talk about, like Dream Theater, like Devin Townsend,
Okay.
Whenever your name comes up, it always comes up with affection. It's never like, that guy. It's like, oh, Wayne's the best. I talked to Michael Sweet, which by the way, is a guy that you helped me get on the show.
I love Michael. Michael is such a sweetheart.
And he does nothing but sing your praises. So it's deserving.
Thank you.
The work you've done is deserving of not just being on this show, because it's not like I have a gazillion followers, but just for recognition for the conversation around the part in the creative process that you play. It's not trivial at all. It's quite impactful, actually. So with that as the framework, I just want to tell the folks the brief story about how we met.
Sure.
You've done a ton of work for Dream Theater, and we're going to look at some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And my project, Symphony North, when I needed to have some videos put together, I was kind of, I had nowhere to go. I didn't know any connections in that kind of creative realm. And I know that there are online communities you can go to, but I was reluctant to do that only because I didn't want to entrust my baby to a stranger. And so I called up John and just said, hey, do you know anybody? And your name just came right off his lips. And
it's so honored he would even do that. So
yeah, man. He John Petrucci, for folks in case I didn't say that, the guitar player and founder and producer and of Dream Theater, said, yeah, man, Wayne's your guy. So I thought, well, this is never going to work, because if he's doing work for Dream Theater, he's never going to have time for me, or I can't afford it. But I tried anyway, and you were so gracious, man. We had a conversation, and you totally got what I was doing, and you did some that first year. You did some really cool videos for me. I'm not going to be so I'm not going to be so self-aggrandizing. We go look at my videos. I just wanted to. I think that whole story just signals the kind of guy you are. Because you have this ability to kind of work with creatives of all different stripes, whether it's like big records with really important name recognized talent, or a guy like me, and your willingness to sort of help bring vision to life from all these disparate creatives. That's a remarkable skill. So I'm actually honored to have someone like you talk to us about the thing you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, before we dive
glad
into,
to share.
Yeah, man, we're gonna look at some of the video work for sure, and we'll kind of navigate around your site and the web a little. But before we get into that, I follow you on social media. And behind you right now, I can see several really cool looking guitars. You're also a guitar player, yeah?
I am. I have been playing for 30 years. Wow, did I just date my age there?
A little bit,
But,
probably.
but yeah, no, man, I have a wall full of them. I like to decorate my office in the work that I do. And a lot of the guitars were given to me. John's given me a few guitars. There's a JPM up
Yeah.
there, there's Majesties. There's actually the cat framed from Devin's video with a cat from space.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So yeah, man, I like to surround myself with my what I've done because it helps me in a creative way to push myself even harder. I look on my walls in my office and I see this and I'm like, I want to do better. So that's a way for me as a trigger to like just keep pushing myself to be better and better at what I do and to never be complacent or settle because that can happen really easily in this business.
Yeah.
Videos can tend to look the same over and over again, and I never want to become that guy.
Yeah.
So
did the video sort of passion and ability come first, or were you a guitar player and that before you got into presenting music visually?
both at the same time.
Okay.
So I went to art school here in Atlanta, and I got my degree in film and design. And then this was like the late 90s. Here I am dating myself again. So I kind of worked my way up through the ranks of paying my dues in the video business. Really starting out as just a video editor, learning how to video edit. And to me now that is a trait that how I can take graphics that I make and tell a story with them and not just edit clips together.
Yeah.
So that me starting out as being a video editor has really spoken volumes and helped me to become a visual storyteller.
Yeah.
Whether it be with video, animation, cartoons, or whatever. So yeah, I worked my way up through the ranks of whatever. Mailroom, bottom of the totem pole type of guy.
Yeah.
And then I guess 2010, around then, I started working for I worked for the Weather Channel here in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic gig, man. It was so cool. And I went in for the interview, and they're like, "You're hired," and I'm like, "Dude, I get to work for this super awesome company." And let me tell you, man, my first week on the job is when Hurricane Sandy hit.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, man, I am like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not trained fully yet. So it was on the site training, man.
Yeah.
But one thing that I tried to bring there, because being the Weather Channel, they can be kind of stiff. So a lot of things that I did there is I worked on shows, what we would do called stunt weeks. And a stunt week is similar to what Discovery Channel would call Shark Week. So they would hire me to do Tornado Week or Hurricane Week or Deadliest Space Weather or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and it was cool, man. So they rebuilt the set, and they had almost a 180-degree screen around the studio. And it was fun, man. And I got to build tornadoes and hurricanes, 3D, while we called them OCMs, on camera meteorologist. And they would sit there, and I would just have the tornado just wrap around the room while they're sitting there talking about it. This F5 tornado going around the room, man. So it was cool. And from that experience, that is where I learned how to do live shows and live touring.
Yeah.
So I took that experience there, and I was able to take that and do the Arjen Universe show.
Yeah.
You know, I just applied that to that, and it worked.
So the was the while that was all going on and you were building your resume as a videographer and visual
Mhm.
video storyteller, have you had kind of an aspiration in music beyond just playing for yourself? Like, and the reason I
Like,
ask this, by the way, is because I see you do these really cool videos on like your Instagram and your Facebook, and you're playing, and you're really good. So it makes me
thank
wonder,
you. I
like,
appreciate that. Yeah.
are
Yeah,
you?
I would love to, man. The thing is like by the end of the day, I am so creatively spent
Mm.
that I'm like, I don't, man, I don't know if I could even like pick up a guitar now. But since my kids are getting a little older, I'm trying to carve out some time to do that. And absolutely, man, I'd love to join a band again and tour the world and design the set and have big LED screens behind me. And
Yeah,
yeah, I'd love to do it for myself, man. I think it'd be fun.
yeah. I
And
think
I'm my worst critic, by the way, too. So I would never be satisfied with anything I do.
yeah. Well, that's a hallmark of some of my favorite artists is they're always pushing themselves, asking questions.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't surprise me that that's a characteristic that you have. Before we move on further, I have to tell you, Weather Channel did one of my favorite shows. They did this show called Three Fat Guys in the Woods.
Okay. Yes, I remember that show,
It had
and
this.
I remember the guys who I worked with the guys who worked on that show.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So the Weather Channel would outsource a whole bunch of their stuff. And luckily, I was able to work on some things like Deadliest Space Weather or Prospectors, shows like that.
Yeah.
But I remember Three Fat Guys in the Woods. That
Yeah.
was
It's just my mind went there because I was like, wow, this is a Weather Channel and they're doing this like kind of interesting survival show. I had this guy by the name of Creek Stewart. I used to watch the Weather Channel all the time just for that show.
Stewart. I met Creek in person, man.
Did you
Nice
really?
guy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
nice, super cool guy, man.
he
He was
is.
very cool. Yeah,
He comes off the screen as a guy that you could literally just be friends with immediately. I just
absolutely. Dude, and it was crazy because like, uh and I had a weird schedule there. I was a designer. I worked on the design team. That's where I moved from video editing into doing motion graphics.
okay.
So I would sit there, and then I'd have guys like Jim Cantori come and sit down beside me and work on a project. That's intimidating, dude.
Yeah.
Or Mike Bettis come and sit down and like, hey, we want it this way. And it I don't know if I necessarily like having people work over my shoulder like that.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable, like being supervised.
Yeah.
So that's why I never really moved on into the post house environment where someone's always over your shoulder telling you what to do or whatever. I like to be my own boss.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Weather Channel, being the company that they are around 2000, I don't know, 14, I was laid off like with 200 other people at the same time. So it was tough. So 2015, I really had to do some deep reflection, So I was like, hey, I I can do this music thing. I've been working with ProgPower for so many years, and I've met so many contacts, and um, I just spammed so many record labels. Like, look, I can lyric videos. This is 2015. Lyric videos in 2015 sucked. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
They look they were bad. They were PowerPoint presentations. So no offense to anybody who did them in
Dude,
2015.
I love the reference. I worked at Microsoft and I grew to hate PowerPoint because I had to make a PowerPoint every day for something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, man. So the first record label that reached out to me was Prosthetic Records out in LA. So the really not my type of music. It's brutal death metal type stuff. So that's what I had to kind of cut my teeth on a little bit. So they gave me a chance. They're like, hey, let's see what you got, man. So I did a couple of videos for them. And for about the next 2 years, they were giving me 2 or 3 videos a week, lyric videos a week to do. And the way that I like to now is a little different. But at the time, I'd like to approach doing those type of videos as almost an official video. You know, just because the lyrics are on the screen doesn't mean a story can't be told.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you don't have this can't feel the same emotion and the same impact that you would if you were watching Petrucci shred a solo.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really what I was trying to go for. Then now I still try to go for that, but now I really have tried to up my game a lot more, like 3D. Like I'm really trying to take it more to a Hollywood level of doing these type of things.
Yeah.
Just so as I grow as an artist, and I don't want to get complacent, and I don't want in 2021 people talk about how bad lyric videos are. So it's I as an artist, it's really important to me to continue to grow.
Yeah.
That couldn't be the oh, I think I may have lost you there, man. You still there, buddy?
I'm here.
Yep, just knock that over a bit.
So
But yeah, it's for me, it's the most important thing as an artist is as I have to grow, man. You know, I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
You know, and when I turn 50, I hope that I mean, I would love to be doing the same thing, but even to the next level, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
no, it does. It does. And I think some of the work we'll look at will help our breadcrumbs in your journey there. But let's start kind of at the beginning there. So we know, you know, that you play guitar, you got the musical side, you have some of your professional experience, but you said something really important there is you had been working with ProgPower USA.
Mm-hmm. So grateful to those guys, man.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Okay, that's such a cool story too. So, in 2004, the fest has been around for I don't know 20 something years now, and he's actually going to call it quits at 25.
Really?
So Glenn's been doing it for a while. Has always been a hero. He has launched so many bands' careers in this business from this festival and doing prog and power music. In 2004, I was going to go, but I didn't. I went and saw Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. I couldn't miss it.
Don't blame you.
Had to do it, man. Had to do it. So 2005 was my very, very first time going, and I saw Conception play. Conception reunion, and I saw Roy on stage, and man, Roy is just salty. He's such a great dude.
He is. Yeah.
They blew the roof off the place, man, and I'm like, this is such a cool event. So the next couple of years, I've been going ever since 2005. So around 2007 or 8, Glenn had a t-shirt contest. So, and I kind of do a jack of all trades of creative stuff. You know, I can do video, I can draw, I can film, you name it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try something. Let me put something in this t-shirt contest, and I won, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was like, well, let me say something, Glenn. You know, since I've won this, since now I've got your attention with this t-shirt, um, you know, let me do a roster video for you. I think that would be so cool. No other festival does anything like that. So what we would do is, and there's like this cool mystique to the fest where the bands aren't announced like right off the bat. You know, it's a mystery. You know, people buy tickets and don't even know the bands that are on the label, that I mean are on the festival yet. So that speaks volumes to how special this event is. So we started doing these roster videos, and uh, I've been doing them since 2008, and I got to make a lot of contacts. You know, doing these videos, the guys would send me their videos, and I'd stay in touch with them, and that by doing that, that kind of helped me, like whenever I left the Weather Channel, kind of pick up the pieces and move into the music business a little bit.
Yeah.
And but man, if you've never been to ProgPower, it's a life-changing event.
Dude, it's one of the, it's on my list. Like I need someday to go to Wacken.
Yes.
And
Hellfest is another one too. I'd love to go there.
Oh my gosh, that bill on Hellfest looks, it just reads like all the bands.
Yeah,
There's
man.
so many. But ProgPower is one of them. I'm sad.
And that's here. That's here.
That's there. But you say that after 25 years, is it just Glenn's going to step away, or the festival's going to stop?
I don't know what's going to happen. I know that Glenn's going to retire because he's been doing it for 25 years. I mean, what else can he do?
He's earned his rest.
Yeah, he started Evergrade's career. He started Symphony X's career. He started Camelot's career. He started Zero Hour's career. He started Blind Guardian's career. All by at this, nobody knew who these bands were, and they came and played this fest. And now, look at Blind Guardian. I mean,
yeah.
But after 25 years, I don't know what he's going to do with it. I don't know if he's going to sell it to Live Nation. I don't know if he's going to pass it on to someone else. But it's such an amazing event, man. And if you ever get the chance to come, it's awesome. And yeah, he made me the art director of the fest, so I get to anything creatively, visually, artistically, I'm in charge of.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's cool, man. And that, you know, I get to do the t-shirts, I get to do the posters, I get to do, you know, anything visually that represents the festival.
Yeah.
And it's and the crew's not huge, but the crew is like a family. We do crew retreats, and yeah, we just all stick together, and it's a well-oiled machine.
I hope, just from my little, not that my vote counts, but if I were voting, I would say, I hope he finds somebody who's as passionate about the genre, and this type of music to take over versus selling to some larger corporation who's just going to run it like any other enterprise.
I agree, man.
So
I agree.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for that. And it sounds like I better make some plans to get down there in the next few years.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, DT will play one year. Who knows? We'll see.
That'd be cool. Although,
maybe it's too expensive. I don't know.
I've become a huge fan of Conception.
Yeah, me too, man. That Flow album is a desert island album for me, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, you helped me get the opportunity to talk to Roy not long ago, and
yeah,
he's a salt of the earth guy.
He is
just such a great voice. They're a band, I think, at least domestically, are criminally sort of under-recognized.
Yes.
I don't know, like their celebrity might be, an audience might be bigger in Europe. In fact, I'm sure that's true. But domestically, I think there's a lot of folks who are just not quite as aware of them, which is,
yeah. I think by him leaving and going to Camelot really pushed that band to the side.
Yeah.
I think if he would have stuck with Conception, I think they would have been huge.
Yeah,
Because Roy is such a charismatic front man.
he really
You
is.
know,
Yeah, he
and
really
I,
is.
I think they would have been huge, man. But Camelot has a great singer now too. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and those two guys, I've talked to Tommy, and those two guys share in common a certain sort of presence on stage.
they
Um,
do.
um, the presentation, in addition to the vocal ability, the presentation that they bring to how they sort of dramatize the music is really, that skill is really quite high in both those guys.
It is. It
Um,
is.
okay, so you then you reach out to a bunch of the contacts that you've made through PowerProg USA, and you start to do lyric videos and other stuff. What is the like? If there is there a moment in time, a certain band or project that you really sank your teeth into that you felt like was a bit of a catalyst to like and helped you climb into other big projects,
Uh,
or was it just
yeah.
kind of like accretive over time?
Well, that's kind of a two-edged sword there. Let me go on the one side.
Okay,
So I reached out to Arjen Lucassen, and I can't believe he even answered my email to start with because he is an icon and he's a salt of the earth guy too. And we've become such amazing friends over the years. So I reached out to him and I'm like, dude, let me do some videos for you, man. And he did. And let me tell you that he is the most difficult person on the planet to work for. But he has a way of finding that spark in you while he's doing that. He knows what he's doing.
yeah,
He's being difficult for a reason because he can see things like all these vocalists that he has. He has a gift that he sees things in people and he knows how to get it out of them. And that's why he's been such a success and with all these vocals. And he does the same thing to me. Like the videos that we've been working on. I just did a video called Lost Children of the Universe. They had Roy on it.
nice.
Steve Vai did a 3 minute solo on it.
Oh wow.
And man, I'm telling you, man, Arjen busted my balls for about three months on that video. It got done. It's a 10-minute long video. It was great. And he gave me permission to talk about the new one.
Okay,
It
good.
comes out what's the day, the 15th. It comes out in 2 days. It's called Prescient, and it's about the movie Primer. And he told me to go straight David Lynch on it. So it's all black and white. It's got that eraser head, Black Lodge, Twin Peak floor type thing going on, clocks swinging all over the place.
Yeah,
So it was a fun video to work on, man. And he again, gave me a hard time, but he found the spark in me.
yeah,
And it's so rewarding to work with someone like that. Knowing and he has a heart of gold, knowing like how difficult this project is going to be, and then I'm going to take this on, and then I'm going to finish it, and he's happy, dude. That is so rewarding. Making him happy is like winning an Oscar.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
He's a guy that I reached out to because I've enjoyed so much of his concept album work, and
mhm.
I don't know him nearly so well as you do, but my limited exposure and conversation with him verifies everything you've just said. And
Yeah,
he's a guy that, um, there are exceptions, but so much of his music is narrative based.
it is.
So
He's a
so
genius. He is such a genius.
yeah,
I mean, like, yeah,
and so it says something about you that after those initial videos, even though he's going to be a hard driver, that he continues to work with you to help him deliver on his vision and the video that needs to necessarily have a narrative component. Um,
yes,
yeah, that's
yes, a serious narrative component. It can't just be like images on a screen. I mean, because you know how like into movies he's into,
yeah,
you know, it has to be his to a like atomic level perfection for him, you know.
Yeah.
And but that's why it's so rewarding, man. Like I finished this recent video for him and I was just like, man, I gotta go celebrate. You know, it's like a badge of honor, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
So and then like I got lucky enough to do the Ayreon Universe show. We worked on it for 1 year. He had a big 3-story LED screen that the first Arjen show ever. And because I think he has a little bit of stage fright. He doesn't, you know, he's a director. He's not a performer.
Yeah.
You know. So I got to do that, and that was the pinnacle of my career at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I got to do a 3-hour show, Ariane show, and do all these music videos and all of this pyrotechnics, and man, it was so cool. And like my wife and I got to go over and see the show, and man, it was life changing.
That's cool.
So that leads me into my sorry, I keep doing that. I get so excited from talking.
It's all
good. So yeah, man, let me get this straight here. I don't want to look like I'm half a person. So yeah, man, so that led me into about 2018. And it's a funny story. This leads me into the Dream Theater story.
Okay.
And so with Ayreon being on Inside Out, well, on Mascot now, Star One's on Inside Out. You know, Dream Theater signed over to Inside Out, and I guess this is 2017. And I have a really good working relationship with Thomas and everybody over there Inside Out. They give me a lot of work. They give me the Romeo work. I haven't worked with Symphony X yet. That's on the horizon. I hope I can one day. But I asked Thomas, I'm like, dude, ever since I've started doing this, 5, 6, 7 years of working in the music business, it has been my goal to work with Dream Theater. I want to work with these guys. They're my heroes. It's why I picked up a guitar when I was 17 years old. It's why we all have. They started it. They're the king. They are the Elvis Presleys of prog metal.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you know. So, and Thomas told me no. He's like, no, I don't want to get your hopes up, dude. And you know, I've worked with Kansas, I've worked with Yes, I've worked with all these bands of his, but when I asked to work with Dream Theater, he's like, no, don't get your expectations up. I'm like, I was crushed, man. I was crushed. That was my dream, bro. So I guess this about a year later, this would have been August 2018, you know. So I get a text about 2:00 in the morning, I guess in Germany. I don't know why it's 8:00 in the morning. I don't know. But Thomas is like, the band has some interest. Man, I jumped up out of bed. I told my wife, I'm like, you need to read this right now. I can't believe this is happening, you know? So he's like, you know, don't get your expectations up, because they don't want to work with anybody who works in the prog business. They want to do their own thing, you know, and I understand that, and I appreciate that, because that's been my bread and butter, is mostly prog bands.
Sure.
So Jordan and John, they called me, and I was a scared little girl on the phone the whole time. You couldn't imagine. They got me on the phone, man, and my voice is just popping and cracking, and I was nervous. You know, I've never talked to these guys before. And basically how the conversation went was, you know, we think you do good work, but thanks, but no thanks. You know, and I was like, listen, guys, just give me one shot. Just give me one shot to show you what I can do. And they're like, okay. So, and this was a big deal. This was not only the Distance Over Time stuff, but this was the Scenes from a Memory tour.
Mm.
So I'm like, just give me one shot. So I took Overture 1928 and I animated the whole thing and I sent it to the guys and then they watched it and they're like, dude, you are hired. You have got the gig.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, goal achieved. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, it was like winning the lottery.
How cool, man.
And yeah, it was so cool. And but that would have been around October. So in December 2018, I did the Paralyzed video. What they wanted to do was do a Blu-ray of all animations of all the songs that would go on the album. And some of them I would give a little bit more effort to because I knew they would be singles, like Paralyzed was a single. So I created the whole entire Distance Over Time animation set in 1 month.
Wow.
In 1 month, man. I did not sleep,
I
bro.
was gonna say,
And then as soon as I got done with that, I hopped on Scenes from a Memory. And I worked with an artist buddy of mine who it was so much of a workload. So I got him to do all of the physical drawing for me, and I did all the animating. And we created the set list. We had set 1 was Distance Over Time, and set 2 was the 20th anniversary Scenes from a Memory. And it was so much fun, man, because I got to do, and then now these guys, they give me the keys to create. It's like I don't even have to ask them anymore what to do. These guys have, and it's such a wonderful feeling that they have so much trust in me to like do things, and then they don't even ask for changes. It's
yeah,
it's
that's
like
cool.
it's so cool, man. And um, not to talk about current set list, but all the videos are done for it.
For the tour that they're kicking up next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which, by the way, thank goodness. I mean, a lot of people may be mad it got postponed, but I'm not because because there is no way that I could have finished all that stuff by October.
Yeah.
I'm pushing it now to get finished by February. So yeah, man, it's
Well, look,
yeah,
I've got my ticket. I got displaced a little bit because I had front row center in the previous booking when they delayed. I'm in Seattle. I didn't get quite so good a seat, but I'm still fairly close. So I'll be watching really closely all of the visuals.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, well, the visuals this time are a lot more three-dimensional. I used some software called Unreal Engine.
Oh, I know it.
It's like, yep, I used most all these videos are done in Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
They're not motion graphics. It's a lot of 3D stuff going on. So it's going to be a immersive event.
Well, I worked at Xbox for years, and a lot of the game publishers use Unreal Engine to produce their games. So I'm very familiar with that. So that's cool. I'm excited to see your magic.
Yeah, man, it's going to be so cool, man. And I'm working on 3 videos for James.
Oh, so for his solo project.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some cool things,
nice.
And that's on the horizon. A few more videos I have to do for Michael Romeo is on the horizon. I'm pretty sure Devin's gonna want some more things, and hopefully one day I can work with Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, that would be cool, right? Well, hey, let's start looking at some stuff. So I'm going to pull over to your browser. Or excuse me, to my browser. So this is your website, which you've admitted to me you've been so busy, doesn't have all your most recent stuff.
Yeah, this is stuff over the last 5 or 6 years.
So let's look at some of this, and then we can boot over to YouTube and look at some more current stuff.
Cool, man.
Direct me. Where should we go to start looking at some of the goodies?
Let's see.
So like this trailer by itself is like, there's so many recognizable albums and artists here. I'm sure this is kind of like a summary sizzle reel, but there's LA Guns, Jordan. That's the Wired for Madness thing, right?
Yep.
Ayreon. This is Distance Over Time, yeah?
Yep.
That's got to be Devin Townsend, right?
Yeah, oh man, that was such a fun project to work on too. Yeah, we went crazy with it.
Striper.
Yeah, my good buddies at Stuck Mojo, those guys I've known for 20 something years too. So they've really helped me break out to the business too.
Oh, you did some Sweet and Lynch stuff. Cool. Yeah,
Terry Mays, great band, by the way.
Yeah, this is a good hero reel.
Thanks, man. I need to update it.
There's just scenes from obviously you've done.
Here's the intro to scenes. That's what, and we did that as like a graphic novel. It's like, you know, that was the way that I wanted to tell it. It's like, how do I take something from 1928 and make it feel like a story, you know?
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it as like, you know, I was a big fan of the Watchmen graphic novel and like, you know, all H.P. Lovecraft stuff. And,
yeah,
you know, I was like, let's turn scenes from memory into a graphic novel, you know? And who knows, maybe one day that actually may be a physical graphic novel. Who knows?
Yeah.
There might be a famous author who could do that. I don't
know. We need to work on John.
Yeah, we do.
I know those guys are super busy, but it would be cool.
Yeah.
But let's stay focused on your stuff here. So I'm gonna just click around. This says motion design. So are these videos where you've done motion graphic stuff? Yeah,
those are all lyric videos.
Okay.
Those are all, that's my lyric video stuff. So I don't really have them in any particular order. Those probably range from, I don't know, 2016 to 2020. I guess if you're were to pull one up, I'd go close to the top maybe. Maybe that top, go to the right. That would be Ayreon. Actually, no. Go to the bottom, go all the way to the left to go to the bottom. That's,
this one? I'm losing your audio signal.
From the top, well, one from the top.
Here?
Yep. And then you can just click on the little thing to make it a little bit bigger if you want. Yeah, that's one I did for him called Across the Rainbow Bridge. And what I did was, for the singers for this, we did it as like a pop-up book. So I had the book open and then I would have them pop up. And Arjen, being the hippie that he is, I had him pop up as the hippie. He played the hippie in it.
Oh,
so it was
nice.
kind of cool. So there's the book. As you can see, we kind of did that, and you know, there's the knight. There's the hippie. I forgot who played the knight. Then just kind of stuff like this. So that's the kind of way that I would do lyric videos.
Yeah.
You know, like storytelling. It's there he is, Mr. Hippie himself. But like I would do it as in a way of,
sorry, let me
just making it's an official video.
Yeah.
You know, just without the band.
Yeah, it has that feeling. It has a feeling of seriousness. You know, like it's being treated as more than just words on a page.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect way to put it.
That's really cool. Yeah. So you've and there's so many sort of serious groups here. Vandenplatz, that's a German prog metal band. Yeah, they're good.
Great band. It's a great band. Nice guys. Yeah, I've done a few videos for those guys too. Gosh,
it's a pretty serious.
I did a Christmas video for Rick Springfield once.
Oh, did you really?
Cool. Yeah.
Is this Inglorious?
Yes, I work with Nathan James. Yep.
When I go full screen, I don't get the, it's not as centered.
Yeah, it's okay. But like a lot of these bands, it depends. Sometimes I don't work directly with them. It's with the label.
Yeah.
And sometimes I work with a manager, which I totally don't like doing. And then when I get to work with the band, it's usually the coolest thing, man. You know, because then I really get to give the vision that they want, you know.
Yeah. Well, Metal Church.
Yeah, I did a couple of videos for Metal Church.
That's cool. Oh man, that's super cool.
Thanks, man. So yeah, it takes me about 2 to 3 weeks to do one of these.
Oh man, I can already tell I'm going to be spending hours watching all of these.
No, man, and like the thing is, like, I need to get more like Wix space on here because I probably have about 50 more of these I need to put on.
Oh wow, yeah, you do. You need to get it updated.
Yeah, I do big time.
Oh my, yeah. There's the Sweet and Lynch. Gosh, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I kind of want to watch them all, but what we'll do in the notes for the show is we'll give a pointer so folks can come and check it out. So that was under motion design, live visuals. So is this is like the
that was it.
That
was Ayreon Universe.
Oh man, check that out. Oh, my thing's not behaving. Let's see. For some reason it's going all white when I do that. That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, so you designed all this backdrop, yeah?
I sure did. I did the backdrop. I did videos for probably 30 videos. I did the stuff in between. I did the intro. There's the intro. Yeah, man, it was absolutely amazing and an amazing experience. Hopefully he does it again someday.
Yeah, dude, it looks amazing.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And that, I think if I hadn't, that really helped me get the Dream Theater gig.
A little off center, but
and as you can see, that how big that screen was compared to like Annika on standing there and Floor, how big those Egyptian statues were.
Yeah,
that's a screen. That's a screen.
Yeah, but it's just epic looking. Yeah, so it's such a cool image, man. Oh, there's the Ayreon universe. There's some other work down here. Here's the distance over time stuff.
Yeah.
I love the direction, the art direction you did with this too, with this this scene stuff. Like it's really I could tell you had a vision for what you wanted it to look like because the feeling of it is very consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And hopefully this one's going to be much different, but you know, I really liked the distance stuff I really wanted to give it such a futuristic concept, you know, with the whole AI and like the swinging robot backdrop at the beginning. And, you know, like that picture of John right there, just it's, and the weird thing, man, is like they came to me and John's like, hey, do you want to do a backdrop for us? I'm like, dude, I've never done a backdrop before. I want you to do two, you know, we're going to rotate them. So I'm like, okay. He's like, and I want you to design the screen. I'm like, I've never designed a screen before. He's like, well, you're doing a screen and two backdrops. So you're learning on the job, son. So
yeah.
Like, let's do it. So, and it turned out great, man. It was.
Yeah. It looks amazing. All these images. I love this image here. So cool. Oh, there's Jordan doing his thing. Yeah, dude, you did an exceptional job bringing that to life.
Thank you. And I did all that in about 6 months. And I always told John, I'm like, you know, I had to live up to the astonishing. The astonishing, that production was through the roof. 30 people worked on that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just one person, man. So I have to, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
So, what, I tried, and if it was different, but, hopefully some fans may have liked it more.
Yeah. No, you did it. You represented yourself well on that. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
Um, Here's some of your ProgPower USA
Yeah, it's my
posters.
posters and t-shirts and artwork, hand-drawn stuff.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, that's all the festivals through all the years, man. With the lineups, we put the bands on the poster, like you'll see them on the sides, and each year we do a different theme.
Wow. Yeah. They're beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful.
Thanks, man.
They're vibrant. Yeah, these are really great. Let's see, animated videos.
Oh, these are the cartoons. These are the cartoons.
Yeah, Joel Hoekstra. I remember when this one came out, man.
Yeah, man.
I remember
And
watching this one.
these I work with a team of guys on. I'll do the animation and the editing, and then I'll have artists help me do the artwork. And that way, I mean, it's such a hard job to do these. So I have a team of guys who help me on these, and they are just phenomenal artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to work with Andy James, and now Andy's in Five Finger Death Punch. So
Yeah.
so hopefully maybe I can get a call from Five Finger Death Punch one day for doing a live tour. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, dude. I think it's one of those things, and I've kind of watched this a little bit, just in the time you and I have known each other, but because the consistency of your work being so high, the quality being so high, that each project that you do, just creates this reputation that precedes you. So, when someone starts to see the work you've done for these other groups, they know that they can kind of bring you aboard with confidence. So I'm not just trying to sort of pander to you. I think that
No, I appreciate it.
You're building a body of work that will continue to garner you more clients because the work's always so good.
Thank you, man. And I always try to approach all my clients with what I like to call the Chick-fil-A policy. I don't know if you've ever been to Chick-fil-A or their customer service. It's always my pleasure. Even if it's the meanest person ever going through the drive-through, the person is always like, it was my pleasure. So that's the way I try to treat my clients, that Ritz-Carlton customer service.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure to work on this video for you. Even though I don't like the song, I may hate your guts, I may want to throw myself out the window after working on it, but you know what? They don't need to know all that, but you know what? It was my pleasure to work on this for you.
Yeah, that's the right
professional. And that's the way that I try to stay professional like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's working for you. I had Joel on the show, with this record. And he, if I remember right, he was your name came up there too. He's, and he's got guys like Russell Allen and he's got some big names that are attached to these projects. So him entrusting, representing this stuff to you, like I said before, I think it says something. What are official videos?
The Petrucci video I did. And usually, man, the official video is something that I haven't really got into yet that I want to. These are usually videos that the band will shoot on an iPhone or shoot themselves, and they'll send to me to doctor up and make look good. Yeah. The Petrucci video turned out amazing. Yeah. Vinny's video turned out amazing too. And just a couple more. I don't get to do a lot of these, but eventually one day, and hopefully soon, I would like to get to the point where I can come in and direct produce and like direct music videos, and then add my graphics and flair to them. And that's my next goal, my next level for me. So
Yeah, you will. You'll get there.
yeah,
I don't think you're far from that now.
thanks, man. And I want to keep doing this stuff too. I want to have like the whole scope of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, kind of be a creative director for the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got Vinny Moore here.
Yeah, Vinny is such a cool man. He is one of my best buds. This is a home shot video on a green screen we did, and yeah, it turned out pretty cool. Yeah, we got to get Vim in on your show, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we totally do. Some of these tracks are mixed really hot because they are just screaming through my speakers, which is good. No, that's not a criticism, but but when I do that, then I can't hear you.
That's okay.
So that's so cool. Now, so this, there's so much to commend you here in terms of the quality of the work and the breadth of the portfolio. In terms of who you've worked with, but this is also you've done stuff since then. Is there stuff other artists you've worked with that we should talk about? I mean, maybe they've got stuff up on YouTube or anything that comes to mind that may not be on your website.
Talking about bands or like other clients.
Anything just to show your work.
Well, I did the Ayreon video for Dream Theater. And that's another thing, like Dream Theater client, like I have to stop reading comments. I'm like James. The comments kind of started getting to me after a while. But yeah, I did the Ayreon video for them, and that seems to have done really well. And that was a fun video too. And I snuck James wrote that song. And I snuck an Easter egg in there that I didn't think anybody would catch, that had an astronaut that had James's mustache.
Oh, yeah?
Like leaving the planet and looking back. So I tried my best to make it look like James.
Oh, wow.
And some people caught it, some people didn't. It's early on in here, but you'll see what I'm talking about once we get to that point.
That's cool.
But this is one of those videos that like the label said, hey, we need you to make this look like an official video and not a live visual.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really put my foot into this one for him.
I remember when this single was released and this video, it's really impressive. And I mean this leans in on your skill as a storyteller, because I mean this song tells this story, right, of moving beyond the earth, and so you're capturing that, this sense of sort of futurism, and movement.
And they totally gave me the freedom to create. They're like, the song's about Elon Musk, and we're gonna terraform new worlds and do what you want with it. Just make that happen at the end. So that's what I tried to do.
You did. There he is.
Here comes James. Here comes James. You'll see him look back in a minute.
So when you're putting together something like this, are you do you belong to some associations that have just amazing footage that you're able to?
There he is.
Was that it?
Yeah. There he is. Right.
Yeah.
There's James.
There's James. Nice.
Yeah, sometimes, man, if it's a job that I have to do really, really, really quick, I'll take stock footage and I'll manipulate it to the point where it's mine. I don't like to use stock footage right off a stock footage Shutterstock page. Yeah. Because I don't want my stuff looking like anybody else's. So I'll take stock footage and I'll change the color. I'll flip it upside down. I'll burn it to the ground. I'll do whatever it takes, but just to make it look like something original. And with that video, I kind of had to do that a lot, because I didn't have like a lot of NASA footage. So with the scenes like you see the guys with NASA and stuff, I did have to use some stock footage here and there, but there is a lot of Unreal Engine stuff used in that video as well. So it's like a melting pot of a whole bunch of stuff.
Would direct us to the Devin Townsend. Wasn't there a Devin Townsend thing you did recently? Has that been a while?
It's been. Are you talking about the Evermore video with this cat in space?
I don't know. Which one should we look at?
Type in Devin Townsend Evermore. Yeah.
Oh, this is. Oh, that's right. We saw there was a little clip in your Hilo trailer.
Yeah, and I have the cat framed on my office wall too. So. Yeah, so basically this is a cat in space. It's inside Devin's mind, so we don't know what's going on half the time. But he just wanted a cat flying around in space and crash lands on Earth and rebuilds a spaceship and then flies back off. So
yeah,
a lot of work went into this video as well. And I did something kind of cool with this. There he is. With this video, I didn't want to use the same spaceship. I wanted to see if people would catch me changing spaceships every other shot.
Yeah.
Like that's a different spaceship than the spaceship that just came out of the other spaceship.
Yeah.
And I did that on purpose, kind of just being funny. And just as maybe an Easter egg, because I know how Devin fans are. They're like, wow, I mean, there's like it's like something Devin would think of, it's like, let's change the spaceship every time, like that. The cat's in a different spaceship every time he's flying through space. So yeah, that was a super fun video to work on, man. And
it's gorgeous. And it's got humor. Like it's, the amazing visuals that you put together, and then there's this slice of humor, which is something that I think that Devin underestimates about himself, even in his live performances, where he'll take the audience into his confidence in it with a smile or the way he looks askance, as just part of his personality. And you've represented that well in this video. It's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I've done some side things on the Git. Like I haven't done any full blown videos for him, except for that one, but I've done like Ocean Machine promo or some small things here and there. But hopefully with his next gig, maybe I'll get another cool project to work on for him.
Yeah. No, it's so good, man. Is there anything else that we should look at that you're proud of, or that was weird or strange or challenging?
Well, if you want to get out of the music business for a second,
sure.
Between 2000 and 2010, I worked for a humongous mega church. Like I'm talking about 30-something thousand members.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I really learned. Yeah, you can click on the About Me section. And I was nominated for 2 Emmys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I worked there for 10 years, and I was like, it's time for me to leave. I want to go into other things, but what I learned there was invaluable. Yeah, and I get to win. I at the time, 2004, I was the youngest person ever to be nominated for an Emmy. I never won one, but
still,
I was nominated for 2. So and I'm not usually one to toot my own horn, man. I'm extremely humble about this kind of stuff. But yeah, I've probably won 50, 60 different awards for doing videos over the years.
Yeah.
None in the music business yet. But
that'll come.
just like corporate stuff. I've got some Telly awards and stuff like that. So whole trophy case.
Says you won a award at the New York Film Festival.
I did, man, and that was so cool. That was 2004, and we got to go there. And I did Actually, man, what that was for was so cool. I did a video that got played at Coretta Scott King's funeral. Her funeral was held at the church that I worked for at the time, and they needed a video to play there. So I made this tearjerker video, documentary style video of her life, and it took first place at the New York Film Festival, and we got to
Wow.
go, and it was really cool, man, and it was and it was cool getting to work and with a piece of history like that, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's so cool. I was completely unaware of that.
Yeah, yeah, all
Yeah,
over the place, man.
yeah. Well, diverse portfolio you've got here.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
and you mentioned some of these, but just so we say them again, you worked with Kansas, which is super cool.
Yeah, man, and I need to add some more to that list too. But yeah, Kansas guys, I've done some videos for, and it's weird because they all live here in Atlanta, but they're still called Kansas. Yeah, I've done some stuff for those guys, and Phil's cool, drummer. He's a cool guy. I've worked with Yes. I've worked with John Anderson. Um, Very difficult.
What did you do for them?
Well, I still have a video coming up for Yes for their new album,
Okay.
The Quest. Yeah, they were super cool, man. They were cool to work with. I worked with Mark Tremonti. I know you just had him on.
Yeah.
I did a couple videos for Mark. I've worked with Seven Dust.
Oh, I love
Um,
those guys. I still got it.
yeah.
I'd kill to get those guys on the show. I've been a fan of theirs forever.
Well, dude, Mark's manager is Seven Dust manager. So,
Oh, is he?
yep, Tim
Oh,
Joyner. So there you go.
may have to.
Um,
Yeah, may have to hit him up.
yeah, man, I'll see what I can do to help
Okay.
you. But yeah, man, I have yeah, it's just I don't really look at my career as a storied career. I just look at it as, of something I've just been doing a long time. I'm
Well,
at 20 years now, so
it just it just grows. I mean,
yeah.
uh, these are there's name recognition in these groups, even beyond the genre. And
Mhm.
that I've said it before, but I think that just it speaks to the quality of your work, and I just have
Thank
every
you.
confidence that that'll continue to grow. We'll
Thanks, man.
we will have you there. Your name will show up in um, a list for a Grammy for best video. That'll happen.
Oh, we're working on. Hey, man, like I don't know, Dream Theater, the Alien got nominated. I
That's
did the
right.
video, so I mean, I guess I kind of got a little bit of, you know, 1% in that, I guess.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, the people don't always, I think, place enough value on how the visual for a song, a single, can help to sort of sell that single to an audience. And putting the
Exactly.
critics aside, because there's always going to be critics,
Yeah.
um, but the visual element of it is really really key. I mean, it was the reason that MTV got so big. Is
Absolutely.
people were getting to sort of see visually some treatment of these songs, and the videos in some cases drove the single versus
Hmm.
versus the old model. So and I know that music
Yeah.
videos have changed over time, but your work, as recently as Alien, just, I mean, it put such a stamp on the experience of the song. Um,
Yeah.
it's really
Thank you.
cool. It's really well
Thanks,
done.
man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
and
means a lot, man.
I've learned a lot about your career in this conversation. So let's talk about just a little bit. And we've hit some of it, but you've got some stuff coming up. You're working on
Hmm.
some stuff for Michael Romeo. That's his new solo album. Yeah.
Yes, I have three videos. Cameo. One is complete. The other two should be coming soon. For him, um, I just finished the video for Arjen. Of course, there's plenty of stuff coming up for DT. Um, Stuff coming up for James. There's a secret project I don't know if I can talk about yet.
Okay.
For a certain individual from Dream Theater, but you'll know soon enough. Let's see, man. I don't know. I usually try to stay about 5 or 6 months booked in advance.
Yeah.
So I do a ton of work for Frontiers labels. They send me so much stuff, man. So, whatever they got coming my way, I knock it out of the park for them. I do a lot of stuff.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I do a lot of stuff for Inside Out. Century Media, I just finished a 40-minute long Unreal Engine video.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be on a Blu-ray. It's for a band called Blood Incantation. It's a death metal band, but it's an ambient drone video. And so it's pretty cool, man. It took me a while. Am I getting you seeing more Pac-Man machine or me or I'm kind of in an Indian style on the floor here. But it was cool, man, because I've never really used Unreal so much, and I think I'm gonna start putting that in a lot more of my videos now. So cool. When Symphony North is ready to go out and film a huge video and you want a green screen and you want your whole Christmas town behind you done in an Unreal Engine style, you let me know.
I will. Yeah, I will. It's funny you mentioned that because I'm in the process now of trying to put together the tour for next year. Because you have to, with any sort of holiday show, people who do holiday shows, they book really far in advance. And so you got to try and figure that out. So I'm in the process of trying to lock in a longer run for next year. So if I pull that off, I'll probably be giving you a buzz.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I'm always here for you, man.
Yeah. But so you mentioned the Frontiers. Like, give us a couple of recent things you've done for Frontiers. A couple of bands you worked with.
I've probably done 100 videos for those guys.
Oh, really?
The very first one I did was for Joyner, which is an amazing singer.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I did a couple of videos for Joyner. That was the first one I did for them, and pretty much every single release that they put out, I'll do a video for.
Okay.
So I've kind of lost track, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and they have a pretty healthy roster.
Yeah.
Like
the Striper, I do all the Striper stuff for them. I do all the LA Gun stuff for them. I guess those stick out the most. I don't know, man. It's just I've really, like, I can't even remember how many videos I've done for those guys.
Yeah. That's good. They must have a lot of confidence in you to throw so much work your way.
Yeah, man, and it's pretty cool. And it's they trust me to do this stuff. So, and a band that I absolutely would love to work with that's on that label is Winger.
Oh, okay.
Kip Winger is my favorite singer-songwriter of all time.
Oh, he's very gifted. Dude's written symphonies, right?
Yeah, man. He put out a solo album, an acoustic solo album in the early 2000s that is just chilling, man. It's amazing.
What's it called?
And plus, Reb is one of my favorite guitar players of all time too. So
yeah.
I think
he's over with Whitesnake now though, right?
Yeah, man. Him and Joel are switching off solos, So, and Inside Out, I do a bunch of stuff for them for more of the, I guess I don't want to say the older bands, but it's like the Kansases and the Yeses and the Jethro Tulls and the, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't get any of the Neil Morris stuff. I don't get any of the Portnoy stuff. I probably shouldn't get into that, but he has his own guy.
Sure.
That does their stuff. I didn't get the Liquid Tension gig because of that, and I was a little heartbroken. But but
Sounds like you're busy enough.
yeah, I was too busy. I'd rather work on Dream Theater stuff anyway. But yeah, man, it's they take care of me. I've done stuff for Spock's Beard.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of those bands on Inside Out, they throw me a bone sometimes. And I've always tried to get into Nuclear Blast. They don't answer my emails. Central Media has been sending some stuff my way here lately. Not very many American bands. I can't think of very many American bands that I've done work for, other than Fozzy and those guys who I'm really good friends with. But other than that, man, it's just mostly Euro people.
Yeah.
South American bands.
Before I forget, what's the name of the Winger, the Kip Winger acoustic thing? Do you remember?
Oh, man, what was it called?
I can look it up. But
yeah, it was all acoustic, man, dude. I can't recommend it enough. It's all cover songs he did. It's his songs, but they're all acoustic, and I mean every single one will give you goosebumps.
I was going to try and look it up real quick.
But I think he wrote that right after his first wife passed away. So you can feel that emotion in his voice.
Yeah, that's too bad. But I'm sure that it invested the music with an emotional quotient that it might not otherwise have had.
And he seems such like a cool dude too, like a guy you can just have a beer with,
Yeah. Well, as long as you stay interested, I think bands are going to continue to knock. So your wish list. You want to work with Winger. You said earlier you'd love to do a Maiden thing. Any other bands that you'd like, you love, or you just love to do something for them because of their music and how you think you could represent it?
Well, of course I'm going to say Metallica. I mean, that's like the given, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, they need about 100 people on their team to pull off what they're doing. If I always grew up listening to Megadeth, and I think I could do a really good job with them, but Dave makes me nervous, like temper wise.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd want to go down that rabbit hole. So,
yeah. We were talking about this before we started the actual show. Is one of the things that happens when you end up working with an artist is, you get to know them in a way that you don't as a fan. And some that can be really pleasant, and it can be not always pleasant.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the way it goes.
Maybe we can do a Symphony North show like that, man. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I've got some, it's all about time for me, but I've got some vision on a new presentation with a new record that would change the instrumentation and change the sort of sonic signature into a sound that I don't think I've heard before, and to a stage show that I don't think I've seen before.
Okay.
I'm really excited about doing it, but there's a little bit of the time to get it out of my head and composed. And then there's the sort of, there's some amount of money I'm going to need in order to sort of pull that together. So I'm kind of hoping this writing thing I'm doing, this collaboration with Brandon Sanderson, bears fruit.
Okay.
Because that might give me the wherewithal to do it. I'd love to bring, and that's exactly the kind of thing where I would be calling you to help me realize some of that. I have a big vision on this. I'm hoping I can pull that together.
Just one phone call away.
One phone call. I hope you get the Judas Priest thing too. I had Halford not booked, but I had like the commitment for the show, and then of course there was the accident, and the tour got postponed. You'd do great at that. I mean, you do some killer stuff for Priest.
Yeah, I would love to do something with those guys, man. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. Well, good. Maybe we'll put this out in the ether and something will happen because
Yeah.
they are. I know that I think they've rebooked that tour.
Yeah, I think they have. I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, any last words?
No, man. I think just I'm so humbled to be on this show and to be asked to be on this show, and I think it's an honor,
Oh,
and you're just the coolest dude ever.
oh, thank you. I'm I'm happy to have these kinds of conversations. I'm excited by
Yeah,
people who have a vision and have the ability and push themselves. And I'm hoping too, in addition to all of the great visual storytelling you do,
hmm
if you've got the ambition to play guitar on a stage, man, I hope you get to do that too.
yeah, man. Maybe who knows? Who knows what the future holds? We
Yeah.
shall. Who knows? Maybe I'll fill in for Dream Theater one day if John gets sick.
Yeah,
Who knows?
you can be the understudy.
Yeah, who knows?
Uh, cool, man. Well, we'll wrap it up here. Stick on the line so that I can
Okay.
say some goodbyes, but we'll let
Yeah,
our
dude.
viewers go. We'll include a link to. Is your website the best place to send folks? The one we
Absolutely.
looked at. Okay, we'll include a link over there, and then from there they can get to your socials.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, dude. Well, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you, man.
Stick on. We'll talk again here. We'll say goodbyes. But until then, everybody, I can't commend enough you to Wayne and his work. And it's so diverse. There's so much of it. Like you can just spend. Invariably, there are going to be artists that he's worked with that you enjoy. So go peruse his page, and we'll encourage you, Wayne, to get it updated with all your stuff that isn't on there yet.
Yeah, I need to, man. And like one thing is like not calling names, like some of the record labels won't let me put the work on my page.
Oh, interesting.
So I have to be really careful about that too.
I
So
hadn't thought about that.
yeah, so some things, and it's usually the cooler things, they won't let me share on my website. So
Do they are these things that appear on their YouTube channels?
yes, Frontiers will let me do whatever I want to.
Yeah.
But it's like the
Some of the
Dream Theater
others.
stuff I can't put on my website. So that's why I can do the live stuff. But like that's why you're not going to see the Alien on my or Paralyzed on my website. Is just Sony is just, I guess it's legal reasons. Because I'm uploading it and it's not through them. And I can understand that. It's business.
What you could do if you wanted, and I've done this on my website, is you can just put a like my website builder has the ability for me to put up a YouTube video, and it's almost like an
Yeah.
iframe. So when you play it,
Mhm.
the YouTube the view of that particular video gets counted against the YouTube channel video. So it's almost just
Okay.
like, so you might say to them, say, look, I'm not going to upload a discrete version. I'm just going to basically put it on my website, and all of the viewership and all the counting gets accrues to the YouTube video that you've got.
Okay.
You should,
Cool, man.
you might mention it to them, because you could be a feeder for traffic they wouldn't get otherwise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk more about that offline.
Yeah. Right on, man.
All right, dude. You have a good evening, and thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, dude.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.